Let's move on to watch this, boys, because I think we have a lot of stuff to talk about here. We watched Godzilla versus Kong. We finished it. The family and I watched it. And I know that this is not a popular opinion, but all three of us came to the same conclusion that it was one of the dumbest movies that we ever saw.
No, I think that's pretty much the conclusion.
Oh, okay. I mean, not to say that it wasn't entertaining at moments, but like, man, that they just did not care about the story at all.
Not
like,
even a little bit.
It's just every human character is ridiculous and has no need to even be in the movie.
We're going to the center of the earth. It's the most dangerous place on the planet. It turned my brother inside out. Here, little girl, come along.
Right.
That's what I was going to say. I haven't seen this movie and I already know that they're going to bring kids along.
Come, little girl.
No, the kid doesn't actually go to the center of the planet. Millie Bobby Brown Thornton, whatever her name is.
Millie Bobby Brown. She doesn't go.
She doesn't make it to Hollow.
No, but she also doesn't need to be in the movie, period.
No, none of the humans needed to be in the movie.
No, not really.
Also, like, I thought it was weird that, I mean, the fight scenes were cool and all, but I feel like King Kong looked too human. He moved too much like a human.
I see, here's my controversial opinion. Because everyone's talking about how great the fight scenes are. I don't think the fight scenes were that great. I think it's too CGI. It's too...
Kong was super CGI. The way he moved did not look like a giant monkey would look.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the ultra CGI mega fight at the end of a movie. I like a little bit of practicality in there. I don't know.
Looking for practicality in King Kong versus Godzilla?
I think we're not the people for this.
Have you seen the first Kong versus Godzilla?
It's ridiculous.
That's all practical.
Oh, that.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that the people who enjoy these movies are not critical of any of the things that we're critical about. They're just looking, looking for something totally different.
You know who loved it? Fine. My son. My son loved it.
Sure. I think that's
he watched it twice in the same weekend. He's allowed. I think it's great. If you love this movie, that's great.
Of course.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Of course. It could have been a lot more depressing, I feel.
It could have been a lot more depressing. It could have been much worse. I didn't even hate it. I don't know. I wish during the fight scenes, if they stuck in some practical, even like building effects, something that kind of
about.
I want.
He didn't like the look. He didn't like the visual style of the movie of the monster scenes. I get it.
I would like there to be practical effects and the special effects mixed in with the CGI.
It looked like a video game cutscene instead of a theatrical film, is what you're saying.
Thank you. Yes. Cheapy understands.
There wasn't much
HBO joint. Is that what this is?
It was supposed to be a theatrical. It's the highest grossing movie of the year.
Hey.
Theatrically.
You put Godzilla and King Kong in a movie, it's gonna do okay, no matter what quality it is.
Yeah, especially when Kong scratches his ass in the first 3 minutes of the movie.
Well, he's a giant gorilla thing.
I like Alexander Skarsgård's character. He was really well fleshed out.
Have they ever combined Kong with Planet of the Apes in any way?
Theoretically, no, but technically, in a way, because the actor that did the mocap for Kong and Kong Skull Island was the same actor that did mocap for the lead ape in the last Planet of the Apes movie.
Yeah. They put Gollum in there too in that movie. I remember that.
Just saying.
Right.
And it was Toby Kebbell who did.
I think that could be an interesting one. I want some Planet of the Apes
with Kong.
Yeah.
Right.
That sounds more interesting to me. I feel like Godzilla versus King Kong is about as vanilla as you can get with, I don't know, large things fighting each other.
I like King Kong.
Shipwreck needs more risk taking.
I like Godzilla too. But
by the way, if I watched that in 4DX, 10 out of 10, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that movie would feel like going to Disney World if you watched that in 4DX.
You'd be thinking, like, why is Alexander Skarsgård's like this, like an author, like a third-rate professor / author? Why are they bringing him on this
he wrote the book. He wrote the book on Hollow Earth, you see.
But why they're like flying in spaceships? Like, why him? Like, he looks like he He can
He's
do anything.
disgraced because he wrote the book on Hollow Earth, which is not a scientifically proven phenomenon, even though it was a scientifically proven phenomenon in the movie that took place before this movie.
You're not supposed to remember.
Yeah, you wrap your head around that one. It'd be like saying, I invented the COVID vaccine. And they're like, no, you're a fool. What kind of crackpot would do that? Even though there already is one.
Right.
Yeah.
That's enough Kong talk. I don't think that movie's meant to be analyzed.
No, I don't
It's meant
think
to be
so
watched and forgotten about immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I watched another movie on HBO Max, whatever. It's called The Last Cruise. It's a documentary about, remember that COVID cruise? Like the cruise that got caught like right when COVID was starting? You do remember that. So,
I do remember that. I don't know why I would relive that in a documentary form now, but
I'm going to pitch it to you.
Okay, go ahead and pitch it to me.
First of all, it's short. It's only 40 minutes and you're done. Second of all, it uses almost all firsthand footage from the people who are on board, like cell phone cameras and stuff, including a lot of the crew members. Like, I feel like the crew members get equal time in this. So not only you're learning about how the crew life on a cruise ship, which is just interesting on its own. During this, it's like on a whole nother level, but there's a lot of tension in something that you already like know the outcome of, created in just like this 40-minute mini doc. So if you want like just a little taste of feeling nauseous, yeah, I did feel nauseous throughout the whole thing. I just felt like there were germs all around me watching this.
You're not really selling me on this one.
Some people like that.
Uh,
Some people like being vomited on.
I do not.
Okay, well that's called The Last Cruise, and it was pretty interesting. Something that I would recommend on a much higher to anybody. It's also on HBO Max. Is Into the Storm. That's the QAnon.
Don't spoil it.
I will not spoil it, but all the episodes are out now. It's 6 episodes.
I've seen 1 through 4.
The last 2 are the best.
We're gonna watch it tomorrow. I probably would have finished it tonight, but I'm doing this instead.
You can. We wound up watching both of those in one sitting because we just had to just find out what was happening. But Into the Storm is very well done. And very thrilling.
If you ever wanted to watch a documentary about like turd people, this is probably the best documentary about turd people you're ever going to see.
Garbage people.
Garbage turds. Just human turds. That's the only way I can describe it.
I would like a movie more about people who were made out of turds. Literally.
You know what?
That's
they
more
would
my
be
speed.
They would be better people.
Well, I don't want to talk about it anymore because I want to talk about it after.
They all look like Shipwreck.
Not quite. If you did a little
he had to do a little bit of
twirl on your mustache. No, but let's
soon. I'm getting there.
Well, good. Well, next week have that ready and Wombat watch that and we'll talk about, because the last 2 episodes are the best and actually like very thrilling. So yeah, that's Into the Storm. Definitely watch that on HBO Max.
Am I Q and don't realize it?
Probably.
Probably.
No.
I'm thinking probably.
Let's move on. What else? Oh, we also are caught up with Invincible.
As am I.
On Amazon Prime.
I watched the first episode.
Okay.
It gets really good. It's
that end of the first episode is something.
It is, but
it's the same something that isn't all of these like cartoons for adults.
So what this one is, what makes this sort of interesting is that it's a mystery. In addition to being a superhero show, and we're trying to solve the mystery along with the characters.
Yeah, I remember, like, I got about halfway through it. I'm like, I remember this.
You read this.
I read this.
I was gonna say it was a very popular comic book, and they haven't strayed much from the comic book.
Right. I never finished the comic book, but I definitely read an issue or two of it when it came out. It might have been like a free comic book day giveaway at some point, like the preview of it or something as well. Because as soon as he got into the Invincible costume, I was like, oh yeah, that's what I'm watching. I remember this.
It checks all the boxes for me because it's got It's got violence, but cartoon violence, which is better.
Exploding heads.
Which is better because it doesn't make me as queasy. The cartoon violence, which it's got the teen like romance situations.
And did you like romancing teens?
I do like that. Everyone likes like 90210, like that type of thing. It's got that. It's got a mystery. I love the demon. I don't know, Demon Darkwing. Is that his name? Demon.
The PI. Demon PI.
Yeah.
Demon Detective.
Darkwing was the Batman clone.
Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck is in it. He says, "Let's get dangerous."
The Demon Detective guy is awesome. Yeah. So Shipwreck, catch up on Invincible, and then we can talk about it.
I don't know. Like,
it's good.
I fell asleep during the first episode.
The first one is slow. The first one's the worst one so far.
I woke back up when the squishy head started, but
good time to wake up.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
That one is slow. That was like they were trying to trick you in that. Well, we shouldn't spoil it, but just watch.
They weren't trying to trick you too much.
Yeah, I mean,
they were laying it on pretty thick.
But you didn't know if you didn't know anything about the show.
Sure.
Yeah. Which I mean, I knew it was sort of similar to what's the other? The Boys.
The Boys. Yeah. I like that show.
It's similar to that without the jokes. Less jokes. A lot less jokes. Is everybody caught up on Falcon and whatever?
The Winter Soldier?
No.
Yes, I am caught up.
Are you done,
No.
Chip? Are you done with that show? Yeah.
We might go back to it. I don't know. Like,
you're not missing anything.
I know I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident I'm not.
Yeah. This is what I learned about this show over the week. This is something interesting, and a reason why I think it's not playing as well, or at least part of the reason. I won't say it's the whole reason because that's presumptuous. Is apparently when they started filming this in 2019, one of the big plot lines was about a global pandemic.
Uh-oh.
And the the Flag Smashers. Remember in that episode where they steal the vaccines? It was supposed to be vaccines for this global pandemic.
Right.
And there's this whole subplot about the pandemic and trying to distribute the vaccines equally and equity among people in solving this problem. And how do they do it? And that was supposed to be part of the motivation for the Flag Smashers. But then they kind of got rid of it because of the real pandemic. They thought it would be insensitive. So, but I think by doing that, they sort of may have Swiss cheesed the show a little bit more than helped it. That's my theory on what might have happened here. So, like, there's, I didn't really notice it, but I watched a video where they show, and here's an ADR line, and here's where this was cut. And this was supposed to be a much longer scene about this. And I'm like, oh, how interesting. So you can kind of see it.
There were 3 more bank loan scenes that they had to cut out.
There were 3 more bank loan scenes. Yeah. No, I just thought that was interesting. And it's part of the reason why if it feels a little disjointed, you're not crazy. That's basically where I'm going with that.
Yeah. The third episode I thought was better than the second one, but
I liked it too. I liked the Madripoor stuff. I thought that was fun.
The who?
Madripoor.
Oh, okay.
The island they go to.
Zemo and his pimp coat.
Yeah, pimp coat Zemo. Yes.
Yeah.
I like that whole that was fun. I like seeing Madripoor in live action because if you read comic books, it's like a fun fake Marvel place.
It's like Macau, but for Marvel.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of fun, but I'll keep watching it. There's only 2 episodes left, so
all
we're
right.
gonna or no 3 episodes left. So
all right, what else?
We might get back to it. I don't know. Like it's a whole thing. Like if we're gonna sit down and watch a TV show, like once the kids go to bed, because it's not appropriate for my age kids. I thought it might be going in, but then that first episode, Falcon's just killing people, and they're
yeah. If you think there's a lot of killing people in the first episode, you should watch the third one.
What we have been watching as a family is a Disney Plus series called Secrets of Sulphur Springs.
What's that?
That is a mystery show, kind of a scary mystery show for kids. I think they recommend it for ages 6 to 11 or something like that. Both my kids really like it. It's well done. It's got the old a family buys a haunted motel and are fixing that up, and they find like there's like a fallout shelter in the basement, and I'm not going to spoil anything here beyond the first episode. It becomes they find the kids, this boy and this girl. They find that there's a portal there that goes back in time, like to a very specific, the same location 30 years in the past. And they're trying to solve a mystery of why this girl that was at camp disappeared 30 years ago.
This is just like Outlander. The woman finds the portal. She goes back into like the rough times, and then she gets anally raped a few times. Does that happen in the show?
I mean, it's 11 episodes long, and we're only 4 episodes in, I think.
Okay, so it could still happen. Maybe not.
Probably.
Did everybody check out the Space Jam 2 trailer?
No.
I did.
I
did.
didn't.
You didn't really?
I did.
No, I didn't. I don't like Space Jam.
You don't like the first Space Jam?
No. In fact,
basketball?
here's a fun fact about Space Jam. I've never been able to sit through that movie without falling asleep within a half hour.
I've never seen it at all. I've never even seen 5 minutes of it.
I tried to watch it a couple of times, and every time I tried to Space Jam, people love this movie. I should have seen it. And I put it on, and then I fell asleep.
I can't reach it from here. I have a Space Jam Look and Find book, just out of reach, right over there.
Nice.
Yeah, that would probably put me to sleep too. Oh, if there's Bugs Bunny.
But did you see how in the trailer it's just like Ready Player One, and they've got every Warner Brothers character that they have the rights to?
Oh, we're gonna talk about your the people that you don't like in the trailer.
The Droogs from Clockwork Orange.
Yes,
that was pretty weird.
Kids love the Droogs.
And it's not even really them either. It's not like it's Malcolm McDowell.
Well, they couldn't get him to be in it. They just they literally hired guys to put on the Droogs clothes, and not only are they in the trailer watching the basketball game, they are courtside. They are in the front row courtside cheering on the Space Jam.
Well, you know how they got there, right?
They raped everybody.
They raped the rich people and took the tickets.
Right.
Oh, I thought they were Pepe Le Pew's old seats.
That too. That's really strange, right? Like that they took Pepe Le Pew out of the movie because he's a little bit too rapey. And
right.
You could rape old women, but you can't rape cats. Everyone knows the rules.
By the way,
in basketball, you better than anyone.
True.
Rape and kill.
Those are the rules of basketball.
Right. She died. He murdered her. He raped her and murdered her. So the one thing there's two situations.
Is part of the NBA standards of okayness.
Well, there's two situations here. One is they did it on purpose, fully knowing that it might create like some sort of negative publicity, knowing that may not even be in the movie. It's just in the trailer, just to get people to say like, "What the fuck?" Like us talking about it, who would normally not talk about it. That's one situation.
I would not be surprised if they're not in the movie.
The second situation, it's either that situation, or nobody making this movie has seen A Clockwork Orange.
You know what? That's also quite possible.
Because there's no other explanation. That's one of those two things, really.
They just know that episode of The Simpsons where Bart dressed up as one of them, and that's all they got.
But yeah,
that's the reference point. Oh, Bart Simpson dressed up like this once. We can use it.
Right.